Welcome to Tuesday Newsday, your #1 resource for the entire week's worth of VR news. A sick new VR MMORPG is coming really soon to all platforms. A new VR headset from HTC, is this the competition that we've been looking for? All while Facebook talks about Quest 3 and Quest 4 already. And cheap, widely available full body tracking on the horizon, we've got a good week of VR news. That and so much more, let's just get right into the news. If there's one type of VR game that I really want personally, it's a good VR MMORPG. I mean, it's the stuff of dreams to have a really expansive RPG that you can play with your friends in VR. Right now, we have Orbis and A Township Tale and a couple others, but for me at least, nothing has rivaled the depth of something like Final Fantasy XIV or World of Warcraft within VR. Not even close, to be honest. And it's understandable. MMOs are difficult and expensive to make, but there is some hope if you're wishing for an MMO to come to VR, and this is Zenith. You may have heard of it before, but recently it's been hyped quite a bit and the trailers are looking to be fantastic. From the rookie indie developer Ramen VR, Zenith is looking promising, although it does seem that this is the developer's first large-scale release. So if I were you, I'd curb my expectations just a little bit. I'm not really into overhyping games, to be honest, but on the positive side, Zenith has been approved for release on the Oculus Quest Store, PlayStation VR, and PC VR platforms, and looks to be cross-play between devices, which is a great sign for the player base. A closed alpha is approaching, and it does seem that footage from the alpha will be shareable. So we'll likely get a pretty good taste of Zenith soon, with pre-orders opening on March 10th, which is also how you get access to the alpha. So we have all seen Facebook absolutely kill it with the Quest 2 lately, becoming the most popular VR headset on Steam VR, the Oculus Store, and in the consumer standalone market, all within just a few months. Impressive. Now, while it may seem like the Quest 2 is new and shiny, which it is, I think it's pretty predictable that Facebook is currently working on a Quest 3, which is confirmed. But Mark Zuckerberg recently talked about Facebook's strategy in the VR space and revealed that really, the next 2 or more VR headsets are currently being worked on. Quote, "We have product teams spun up now working on the next few generations of virtual reality and what Quest 3 and 4 are gonna look like," end quote. But more excitingly, we may have some clues as to some features that are sort of confirmed for the next headset from Facebook, and that includes eye tracking and face tracking. Quote, "One of the things I'm really excited about for future versions is getting eye tracking and face tracking in, because if you're really excited about social presence, you want to make sure the device has all the sensors to really kind of animate realistic avatars so you can communicate well," end quote. One of the main points Zuckerberg talks about is social VR and hyper-realistic avatars for the future, using face tracking and eye tracking to more accurately bring physical movements into the physical space. Right now, eye tracking just unfortunately isn't a part of consumer VR as much as it should be. The future of eye-tracked headsets not only brings better social VR due to avatars portraying eye contact and movement, but it also makes running VR applications easier due to technologies like foveated rendering, where you only render what the eye is actually focused on. All in all, eye tracking will be a positive move for consumer VR, and it seems like we can expect it or something similar from Facebook's next few generations of VR headsets, whenever those may come. HTC has been really quiet lately, really ever since the Cosmos flop and restructuring of the entire Cosmos line. And in case you don't know, let me just give you a quick TLDR on what happened with HTC. Basically, in 2019, Oculus released the Rift S and Quest to pretty great sales. Valve released the Index, which still isn't back in stock after almost 2 years, and HTC released the Cosmos and eventually the Cosmos Elite, and it utterly flopped, and for good reason. The headset was too expensive, too late, and too incapable compared to the competition. It was just hard to make an argument for HTC's headsets when everyone else did it better for cheaper. The company restructured the Cosmos launch for enterprise, then basically pulled out of consumer VR in the West, which I don't blame them. The Cosmos flopped and has one of the lowest user bases of any headset released by a large company, barely pulling in more than a few % of Steam VR users. However, there is something interesting here that I don't think most people realize. A lot of people are hoping for competition for Oculus and the Quest 2 and the standalone market, because right now there just isn't any, but most people didn't know that HTC actually had a standalone VR headset that could stream PC VR games wirelessly before the original Quest was even launched. Only problem was that it was $1,000 and was never marketed or poised as a consumer product. But HTC is coming back this year with a new VR headset, confirmed by Alvin Graylin, president of HTC Vive China. Graylin says HTC will release a next-generation standalone VR headset this year. This all comes from various leaks that HTC has been posting on their Twitter, starting with a little snapshot of the Vive logo on what looks to be some sort of plastic and a caption saying "It's your move." Many speculate that due to the "It's your move" statement that this picture is from a new Vive tracker, not from a new headset, which is totally possible. But regardless, a new headset is coming, even if that isn't what is pictured here. Really, the HTC Twitter has just been popping off because they also teased this picture with the caption "Express yourself," which, if you compare this to another photo from a couple years back, it's obvious HTC is dropping hints at their lip tracking module that was mentioned nearly 2 years ago at GDC 2019. So, new headset in 2021 from HTC is confirmed, and a lip tracker is coming, and maybe more soon. And although it may seem really early, HTC has said themselves that this new headset coming this year will not be a direct competitor to the Quest 2, which is what I and a lot of people were hoping for. Alvin Graylin had this to say.
I don't think I would position it as a Quest competitor. I think it's our next generation standalone. We will have one this year. It is going to be a great product. I can't give any specs on it. Every perspective, it is better than what we have today, and it's probably better than what's out there from any vendor today.
That's interesting. So, according to HTC, it's going to be their best headset ever, and maybe even the best headset available. Tall words, but that's basically all we know. Really, it makes sense why HTC would say they're not directly competing with Facebook. I doubt HTC has the capability to release a headset cheap enough to really compete. But who knows? I and we may all be surprised. And I definitely want HTC to do well. It's only good for the industry to have them in it. But now it's time for a me break. Any Doom fans watching today? Well, I'm happy to announce that everyone's favorite Doom game, Doom 3, is getting a VR release, exclusively on PlayStation VR. Don't fret, you'll stay safe behind that screen door. Also, I couldn't help myself. Jamie from Upload VR brings up a really good point. Microsoft purchases Bethesda, and I'm eagerly awaiting the first Bethesda release under Microsoft. And it's a PlayStation VR exclusive of the most polarizing Doom game ever released. Interesting, to say the least. But let's just get right back to the news. Now, if you're into full body tracking, which I think is the true future of VR for the next 5 years or so, now is the time to be an enthusiast. New trackers are coming from Tundra Labs, like I've talked about before, which I actually have one in hand that I'm currently testing. Other vendors are working on cheaper full body tracking solutions, and there are a number of DIY solutions out there right now. But if you're on a budget, a new solution may have presented itself. And look, I thought this was kind of a meme at first, which I think it was, but it is no longer. This is very real, and this is Stonks, a cheap full body tracking solution from a group of Swedish teenagers. So I will say right out front, these trackers definitely do not provide the accuracy of, say, Vive full body trackers. But from the demo shown, the tracking accuracy certainly looks to be better than something like Nolo or Kinect full body tracking, offering sub-centimeter tracking precision, while something like the Vive tracker is capable of sub-millimeter tracking. The difference really, though, is the price. First of all, you don't need base stations to use Stonks. It comes with its own outside tracking beacons and will sell in the basic kit for just around $80, which is significantly cheaper than the $300 to $600 that is required to buy Vive trackers and base stations if you need them. So, not gonna lie, as you should be, I've definitely been skeptical of startups before, promising big things like this for small amounts of money, but Stonks is looking to be pretty legit, and I'll definitely be testing out the tracking quality on this channel as soon as I get a unit to test for myself. While these trackers are not quite ready to be purchased, you can pre-order the DK1 version of the cookie body tracking in the description, while also supporting some very ambitious and talented VR enthusiasts that see the demand of something like full body tracking, know that that the big companies are too blind to see that demand and do it themselves, which is to be commended. Right now, it doesn't look to be perfect or flawless, but I do believe that pioneers like the Stonks team are exactly what the future of VR really looks like, not just the big Facebooks and Googles telling us what we can and can't have. In case you're looking for a new VR chat avatar that isn't quite the usual VR chat troll avatar or anime-related avatar, I may have something for you. A new service called ReadyPlayerMe allows you to create an avatar either through personalizing traits or via a selfie from a camera. Pick where you want to build the avatar or which application you want to use it in, like VR chat, then customize your avatar. Takes a lot of the work out of having something a little more personalized for a social VR app. Not gonna lie, this avatar style isn't my favorite. I already have avatars that I personally use that I like a lot, but I know a lot of people are looking for ways to stand out and feel like an individual online. So here's one way that you can do it. Taffy is another similar service offered that I have used before, but ReadyPlayerMe is the newest on the block. So if you're interested, you should definitely check it out. A new Star Wars game, Star Wars Pinball, is coming to all VR headsets just next month on the Quest Store, PSVR, and Steam. Although it should be known that this game isn't all new, just new to VR. Star Wars Pinball from developers Zen Studios has been available on mobile, PC, and various consoles since 2013, but it's just now getting a VR adaptation. There are tons of tables already in the game from Episode 4 to The Mandalorian, so all in all, it looks like a pretty fun and decent little game if you're into Star Wars or pinball. I personally have never played pinball in VR, so it'll be interesting to see how it feels when the game does come out. But now it's time for question of the week from Ralsei. Hopefully I said that right. Do you ever edit videos or check VR news in your VR headset? If so, how does it compare to browsing on a flat screen? And no. Honestly, I always kind of do things last minute, which means I try and work as fast as possible. Right now, my workflow with the VR headset for editing is just slower than without. I have tried it before and it didn't last for long, so it makes sense just to edit on a flat screen. Although, as I experiment with 360 video, editing in VR becomes far more appealing. I do think that one day I will completely work within a VR headset, just that day is not today. And that's question of the week. Don't forget to leave your own below, I may just answer yours next. And I will be streaming after this video on Twitch, so come on by, I'd love to see you there. Also, join up in my Discord server for the best VR community on the planet with giveaways, meetups, and more. I want to thank all of my Patreon supporters, especially my Omegas like Anders, Lucid VR, Mud King, Caution Ramen, I'm Naku, Zale, Furtrap, Atomally, CPCJ79, KR, That Brock Guy, Token Engineer, HCG Randon, Benji, Biz, Fusion Oak, Very Evil Shadow, and Gran. I couldn't do any of this without you. Don't forget to like this video if you loved it, subscribe if you want more of this, and hit that freaking bell if you just can't live without it. Much love, Thrill out.